Hello, good day to everyone. I'm Jason Pigadilina from Bsit1I, and now I'm going to discuss the chapter 1 in our module, which is the devices for connecting networks. So let's start with the LAN transmission devices. So what is LAN transmission devices? Based in our module, LAN transmission devices are local area network transmission devices. It uses local area network transmission equipment that connecting devices on a single network, creating and connecting multiple networks or sub-network in setting up some enterprise networks. So this is a computer network consists of different devices such as router, hub, switch, and others. These devices link up all the local and remote network segments with each other to make data communication from one segment to another. Without these networks, devices' data cannot be transmitted from one computer to another in a local area network or wide area network. So, there are two importance of a big network, and these are the router and switch. And now, let's proceed to the repeater. So, sabi dito, based on our module, a repeater operates at the physical layer. Its job is to regenerate the signal over the same network before the signal becomes too weak, corrupted, so as to extend the length to which the signal can be transmitted over the same network. So, sabi, a repeater is a network device that is used to retransmit the weaker signals in a network. So it receives the signals on the electromagnetic or optical transmissions mediums, and it also removes the unwanted noise, the barrier from the incoming signal. So we can see in the illustration 1-1, it shows how you can use a repeater to connect two groups of computers that are too far apart to be strong on a single segment. So when you use a repeater like this, the repeater divides the cable into two segments. The cable length limit still applies to cable on each side of the repeater. So, next, dun sa illustration 1-2, it represents as a repeater and the wireless device to be repeated. It configures the access point as a wireless repeater, and first of all, you need to connect your computer to the repeater's local area network port via an Ethernet cable. So next, let's proceed to the use of repeaters, which is this. Repeaters are used to extend transmission so that the signal can cover longer distances or be received on the other side of an obstruction. So some types of repeaters broadcast an identical signal, but after its method of transmission, for example on another frequency or baud rate. So next to the use of repeaters, there are types of repeaters. So according to the types of signals that they regenerate, repeaters can be classified into two categories. The first one is analog repeaters. So it says here in our module that they can only amplify the analog signal. So this type of repeater is used in channels that transmit data in the form of analog signal. In a word, analog. So the next type of repeater is a digital repeaters. They can reconstruct a distorted signal. So this repeater receives the radio signal on one frequency and simultaneously transmit the same signal on another frequency. So keep in mind, the repeater itself has no vocoder, so it cannot receive voice on a speaker or voice from a microphone. It simply receives then transmit the radio signal. Next, when it comes to the types of networks that they connect, repeaters and can also categorize into two categories: the wired repeaters and the wireless repeaters. So wired repeaters, for example, cable television or internet access, and fiber optic connection. These are the examples of wired repeaters. So wireless repeaters, it is also called wireless range extender or Wi-Fi extender. So it takes an existing signal from a wireless router, commonly used to improve signal range and strength within homes and small offices. So furthermore, when it comes to domain of local area networks, repeaters can be divided into two categories also, which is local repeaters and remote repeaters. So local repeaters connect local area network segments separated by small distance. Example, in a single location like medical office or a hardware shop where all persons gathered cannot maintain at least 6 feet of distance between themselves to any other person or place. So remote repeaters naman connects local area network that are far from each other. So for example, in our campus or any place that far from each other. So we're also done with the meaning or description of local area network devices and repeaters and the uses and types. So now let's proceed to the advantage and the disadvantages of a repeater. So the advantage of repeater based in our module has a four advantages. So number one, repeaters are simple to install and can easily extend the length or the coverage area of networks. Number two, they are cost effective. Number three, repeaters don't require any processing overhead. The only time they need to be investigated is in case of degradation of performance. And lastly, number four, they can connect signals using different types of cables. So sa madaling sabi, ang advantage ng using repeater is a potential to strengthen signals. Pinapatibay nito yung signal so as that it's are often transmitted much stronger with better performance. So other than enhancing signals, repeaters has the facility to extend the length of the transmission. So kung meron tayong advantages ng repeater, there are also disadvantages. There are also four disadvantages. So repeaters cannot connect dissimilar networks. They cannot differentiate between actual signal and noise or barrier. So they cannot reduce network traffic or congestion. And last, most networks have limitations upon the number of repeaters that can be deployed, I mean. So disadvantages of repeaters, it is unable to reduce network traffic. So it cannot connect different network architectures. It does not segment the network. Repeaters do not separate the device in the collision of domain. So now I'm done discussing the lens transmission devices and the repeater. So now let's proceed to the next part, which is Mr. Winchester Aurelio is going to report.
I'm Winchester Tagasta Aurelio, and I'm going to discuss Multi-Station Access Unit. Multi-Station Access Unit is a hub that connects computer and other devices to a token ring network. The MAU physically connects computer in a star topology while retaining token rings logical ring structure. However, every message passes through every computer, each passing it onto the next in a continuing circle until it arrives at its proper destination. This leaves the token ring topology vulnerable in that a single non-operating node can break the ring. The MAU solves this problem because it has the ability to bypass non-operating nodes and maintain the ring structure. MAU evolved into newer devices. Control Access Unit. Control Access Unit is a basically MAU with intelligence. CAU supports up to 4 lamps. The ring in and the ring out ports of a CAU are copper, but can replace with a fiber connector. Allow several connected stack able unit to count as one MAU. CAU also come with options for gathering information used in network performance management. Tasks performed by MAU. Number 1. Connect nodes in a logical ring through a physical star topology. Number 2. Move the token and frames out around the ring. Number 3. Amplify data signals. Number 4. Expand token ring network by daisy chain connections. Number 5. Provide for orderly movement of data. Number 6. Shut down ports to malfunctioning nodes.
Hi, I'm Hendrik Serral B. Castro, and I'm about to discuss the hub. A hub is the simplest of those switch, router, and bridges in networking. In general, it is the central part of the wheel where the spokes come together. It is a central network device connecting nodes in a star topology. It is basically called a multi-port repeater. A hub connects multiple coming from different branches. Also, a hub cannot filter data, so the data packets are sent to all connecting devices. In other words, collision domain of all hosts connected through hub remains 1. This is what a hub looks like. There are 6 functions of a hub. The first one, it centrally connects multiple nodes into one network. The second one, it permits connections on a single or multiple LANs. The third, provide multi-protocol services. The fourth, it consolidates the network backbone. The fifth, it provides connection for several different media types. And lastly, it enables centralized network management and design. There are also 3 types of hub: the active hub, the passive hub, and the intelligent hub. The active hub. These are the hubs which have their own power supply and can clean, boost, and relay the signal along with the network. It serves both as a repeater as well as wiring center. These are used to extend the maximum distance between nodes. The next one is the passive hub. These are the hubs which collect wiring from nodes and power supply from active hub. This hub relays signals onto the network without cleaning and boosting them and can't be used to extend the distance between nodes. And lastly, the intelligent hub. It works like active hubs and include remote management capabilities. They also provide flexible data rates to network devices. It also enables an administrator to monitor the traffic passing through the hub and to configure each port in the hub.
My name is Jonel P. Angeles and I'm gonna report bridge. Bridge. Bridge is a type of computer network device that provides interconnection with other bridge network that use the same protocol. Bridge device works at the data link layer of the OSI model, connecting two different networks together and providing communication between them. Bridges are similar to repeater and hubs in that they broadcast data to every node. Makikita natin sa picture kung paano nako-connect ang dalawang LAN gamit ang bridge. However, bridge maintains the MAC address table as soon as they discovered new segment. So subsequent transmissions are sent to only to the desired recipient. The working principle of a bridge is to block or forward the data depending on the destination of MAC address, and this address is written into every data frame. Dahil dito, matutulungan na matanggal yung tinatawag na collision domains. Ito naman ang mga function ng bridge. 1. Extend a LAN when the maximum connection limit is reached. Example, the 30-node limit on an Ethernet bus. 2. Extend a LAN beyond the limit. Example, beyond 185 meters for ITNET segment. 3. Segment LANs to reduce data traffic bottlenecks. 4. Prevent unauthorized access to a LAN. 5. Learnings. Learn network topology and device addresses. Information is stored in a bridging table. 6. Filtering. Do not flood certain frames, discard others, enable the bridge to be used for security purposes. 7. Forwarding transmit frames to destination based on data built into the bridging table. Ito naman ang example ng bridge. Local bridge directly connects two LANs in close proximity. Also used to segment traffic to reduce bottlenecks. Remote. Join distant connect. Join remote. Join distant networks used to join network in different cities or states.
Routers are networking devices operating at layer 3 or a network layer of the OSI model. They are responsible for receiving, analyzing, and forwarding data packets among the connected computer networks. Ang router ang responsable sa pag-receive, pag-analyze, at pag-forward ng mga data packets sa mga computer networks na nakakonect dito. Ang ginagawa niya is, tinatanggap niya yung mga data packets, i-inspect niya yung destination address, kinokonsulta niya ang mga routing tables para malaman kung sa optimal route niya ito itatransfer. Routing tables. The functioning of a router depends largely upon the routing table stored in it. The routing table stores the available routes for all destinations. A routing table typically contains the following entities. Number 1, IP addresses and subnet masks of nodes in networks. Number 2, IP addresses of the routers in the network. And last, number 3, interface information among the network devices and channels. There are two types of routers. First is static routing table, which is isa siyang routing table na kailangan manual ang pag-modify or else hindi siya magbabago. Last naman is ang dynamic routing table. Ang dynamic routing table naman is parang kabaliktaran na static. Dahil automatic siya magpapalit ng routing table, ina-adapt niya yung mga changes na nangyayari sa topology. Types of routers. Number 1, wireless routers, which is yung ginagamit ng karamihan sa atin na may mga internet connection sa bahay. Number 2, broadband routers. Ito naman yung ginagamit sa mga telepono. And last, number 3, core routers. Ito yung ginagamit para malink lahat ng devices sa isang network.
Good morning, sir. So, I'm Sophia Learning A. Alaria from Bsit, and I'm going to discuss the types of switches. So, what is switches? Switches are the connectivity points of the internet network. If you can see on my slide that switch has many parts which the computers are plugged in. When the data frames arrives at any ports of the network switched, it examines the destination of the address and it sends the frames of the corresponding devices. It supports the unicast, multicast, and the broadcasting communications. Next, these are the types of switches. If you can see in my slide, unmanaged switch, LAN switch, or the local area network switch, PoE switch. Next, unmanaged switch. These are the inexpensive switches commonly used in home networks and small businesses. So, unmanaged switch seems a bit brainless. Unmanaged switches are plug-and-play devices and have no management or monitoring capabilities. Unmanaged switches are most often used to connect edge devices or small networks with few components. The pro of this is it's easy to install in the most cases that they are simple plug-and-play devices that anyone can set up. It's easy to use because there's no need an active monitoring on that. Next, managed switch. These are the costly switches are used in organizations with large and complex networks since they can be customized to augment and functionalities of a standard switch. Based on the picture, you can see how it looks. So managed switches, they let users adjust each port on the switch, enabling them to manage, configure, and monitor the network in many ways. So they manage the network and it provides more control how their data travels. Next, the LAN switch, or the local area network. Local area network switches connects to the devices in internal LAN of an organization. Local area network is that known a frame switch, comprises cables, access points, switches, and routers. Next is that PoE switch, or the power over Ethernet PoE switches are used in PoE gigabits internet. It means that you can power devices using network cables. A PoE switch provides power that can be used for run other devices via the internet cabling.
Hello, I'm Leandro Iberby Castor, and I'm going to discuss gateway. A gateway interconnecting networks above the network layer is the most complex network interconnection device. It is used only for interconnection of different network between two high-level protocols. The gateways can be used for both LAN and WAN interconnects. A gateway is a computer system or device that serves as a transitional task. The gateway is a translator between two systems that use different communication protocols, data formats or language, or even completely different architectures. Unlike bridge which simply convey information, the gateways repackage the information they receive to suit the needs of the destination system. Function of gateway. 1. Convert common protocols to specialized type. 2. Convert message format from one format to another. 3. Translate different addressing schemes. 4. Link a host computer to a LAN. 5. Provide terminal emulation for connection to host. 6. Direct electronic mail to the right network's destination. 7. connect network with different architectures. Types of gateway. On basis of direction of data flow, gateways are broadly divided into two categories. One, unidirectional gateways. They allow data to flow only one direction. Chains made in the source node are replicated into the destination node, but not vice versa. They can be used as achieving tools. Two, bidirectional gateway. They allow data to flow in both direction. They can be used as a synchronization tools.
WAN transmission devices. Wide Area Network, also known as WAN, is a large network of information that is not tied to a single location. WANs can facilitate communication, the sharing of information, and much more between devices from around the world through one provider. WAN is generally defined as a communication network that exists over a large geographic area. The geographic area that it spans could be a city, state, nation, or even a continent. The best example of this would be the internet, which allows computers and networks around the world to communicate with each other. In order to communicate across these vast areas, you need a circuit connected to the internet. Next, we have the analog telephone modems. The word modem stands for modulator or demodulator, which refers to the fact that modems convert digital transmission signals to analog signals and vice versa. Modems send data by converting it into audio signal and receiving it by converting audio signal back to digital form. The speed at which modems transmit data is measured in BPS or bits per seconds. Modems in late 1990s are the term referred mostly to analog modems, which allows a computer to terminal to transmit data over standard dial-up telephone line. Characteristics of WAN transmission equipment. 1. It may have analog component or be completely digital. 2. It converts signal for long distance communicating. 3. It creates multiple channels in medium. Next, we have the analog telephone modems. The word modem stands for modulator or demodulator, which refers to the fact that modems convert digital transmission signals to analog signals and vice versa. Modems send data by converting it into audio signal and receiving it by converting audio signal back to digital form. The speed at which modems transmit data is measured in BPS or bits per seconds. Modems in late 1990s are the term referred mostly to analog modems, which allows a computer to terminal to transmit data over standard dial-up telephone line. Modems have used two communication formats, the synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous. It have continuous data bursts controlled by a clock signal. It is one where data is transmitted and received at the same time. Asynchronous is a discrete signal delimited by start and stop bits. It does not use a signal clock to transmit or receive data, and data flows only one direction at a time. Synchronous transfer faster because data is flowing steady and simultaneously in both directions with no gaps between transmissions. For example, using video conferencing, both parties can see and talk and listen at the same time. This is accomplished over multiple channels and can be compared to a two-line highway. While asynchronous requires data transmission to be intermittent, as an example of this is a walkie-talkie. Next, we have the DTE or the data terminal equipment. When an analog facility is used for data communication between two digital devices, it is a equipment that is either a destination of source for digital data. DTE is a equipment that is either a destination of source for digital data. Example of DTEs are computers, printers, application server and file server, routers and bridges.
Hello, my name is Chajemuel Villarreal and I'm going to discuss the ISDN adapters and cable modems. The ISDN terminal adapter connects a dial-up integrated services digital network connection to a computer or a local area network at a customer location or LAN. When you don't have a dedicated ISDN phone or computer, you utilize a terminal adapter. ISDN modems are also known as terminal adapters. The Integrated Services Digital Network (ISDN) is a circuit switch telephone network that uses a digital line to transport both data and voices. It's a set of protocols for sending and receiving data, speech, and other forms of communication. Copper might be used to connect these digital lines. It was created to replace the old analog landlines with digital ones. ISDN connections have a reputation for being faster and more reliable than the traditional ones. Increased speed and data transmission are more reliable when there are stronger connections. And next, the cable modem. The term cable modem refers to a device that converts analog to digital data signals and vice versa for transmission or reception over cable television lines, particularly when connecting to the internet. A cable modem is a hardware device that allows your computer to communicate with an internet service provider over a landline connection. It converts an analog signal to a digital one for the purpose of granting access to broadband internet. A cable modem works by connecting a coaxial cable and then a Cat5 Ethernet from the modem to a computer or network router. Network routers share internet between multiple computers. More modem cable modems may have the router built in with the ability to share the connection over Wi-Fi. Cable connections are substantially faster than ordinary phone lines at transmitting data. Basic services have a transmission rate of roughly 8 megabytes per second or Mbps, and premium services have a rate above 50 Mbps. The upstream and downstream channels frequencies are used to communicate. Outgoing data, sound, and TV signals are sent upstream, while incoming signals are received and blended downstream. Upstream and downstream modem speeds may differ.
Hey everyone, my name is Alan Jexter. So right now I'm going to explain DSL. So DSL, that stands for Digital Subscriber Line, is a type of connection where it involves physical lines, which is the copper that serve as its main connector. So it has intelligent adapter to connect to computers and routers, and its maximum upstream and downstream rates are around 200 Mbps, which is really fast. And the maximum distance it can get from users, which is us, to the internet provider or telco is 5.5 kilometers and can be extended with the use of repeaters. So one of the features it can offer is the security that it can provide for you, since it just physical lines. It can never be tampered easily. Your data won't be overbreached easily. So next is its full bandwidth with the teleco and the user. So meaning you'll be able to induce your internet to its fullest speed. So next we have is the access server, which is just a combination of one communication into one device. So the access server involves the internet service providers, which is the teleco, and the network and the NAS, or the network attached storage, to provide internet access to us users. So network attached storage provide connection to its users by enabling simultaneous connection through dial connection or wired or wireless connection, and to analog digital connectivity services and other type of connections. So once user authentication is complete, you'll be able to have access into the internet as well. So that's it for the DSL model and for the access server.